Hello and welcome to another episode of the Tip Balls Podcast. I am your host, Sam Randazzo, and I am joined today by my two no-necked co-hosts. To my right, it is the one and only Uncle Sam.
Hello.
And behind the computer, jegging his own chain, it is Bruce, the tugboat, Venditti.
What's up? I'm feeling my neck right here, so I have a neck. I don't know if he does.
We cannot visually confirm the fact that he has a neck.
Can you lift the beard up?
You still can't visually confirm the fact that he has a neck. Either way, we hope you guys enjoyed the Christmas weekend, had a very Merry Christmas, ate too much, got the shits, slept in too late, all the above. So hopefully you guys had a great Christmas and enjoyed some football in the meantime, because there's a lot to talk about from that Christmas football today. How was your Christmas?
Great.
What was the highlight?
The highlight of it,
Yeah.
waking up this morning.
Wow. That was
Waking up.
That was deep. That was deep. Bruce, how was your Christmas?
Fantastic.
Anything exciting, fun, highlights?
Same old, man. Family, food, presents,
Pot.
movies,
Dope.
Baileys. What are you going to do?
Bailey's, piss at yourself. Did you piss yourself at all or no? Oh, you stayed straight?
Huh?
Good for you. Good for you. Anyways, we got to start off with the elephant in the room, man. The 7-8 Detroit Lions headed down to
Son of a...
Carolina to play the Panthers. The Panthers battling it out for positioning with the Buccaneers, only being one game behind them and still having to play each other. Carolina in perfect position to make a push for the division. Big game for them. But at the same token, big game for the Lions. Lions on a hot streak, 3 in a row. The Lions...
6 in a row.
No, they lost to Buffalo, 3 in a row.
Oh.
Bruce had his math.
Okay. 3 in a row.
It was 6 of 7. And battling it out for a wild card spot. So big game for both these teams. At this point in the year, all the games are big for teams that aren't named Denver. But the Lions go in there and they just take an absolute fist to the face. Carolina defeating
A
Detroit.
fist to the what?
A fist to the face.
No, they took a fist to their asshole. That's what happened. My God, I've never seen anything so pathetic. Absolutely pathetic.
The Detroit, we got to talk about the Detroit run defense because I don't think anybody in the world
happened?
is worse. They gave up 209 or what? Yeah, I'm reading this number right.
Yep.
290 yards rushing between Devonta Foreman and Chuba Hubbard. 290.
I see 320.
Well, by the time you added Sam
the time the
Darnold
game-
and
yeah.
DJ Moore and Blackshear, yes. But
Yeah.
just to Deonta Foreman and Chuba Hubbard, 290 yards rushing, I had to look twice at that. And realistically, here we go again.
I think what set the
It's like
tone of the game was
Michigan versus Georgia.
the first
Which was just
the first
absolutely-
quarter. The first quarter.
Nowhere.
The first drive that Carolina had, Chuba Hubbard ripped off 60 yards on 2 runs.
Yep.
And then that set the tone of the game.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, dude. What the absolute fuck? Alex Anzalone, I watched this asshole, and that's what he is, an asshole, fucking run through the wrong gap on every fucking play
Correct.
and the fucking game.
he got sucked
My
inside way
Fucking
too
utter
often.
God.
Way too often.
How he was still on the field after that, I would have went to the fucking bench and put my punter in to play fucking linebacker better than him. My fucking Lord, help me. Somebody help me. Because I was about ready to have a heart attack watching. I don't even know what I was watching. Not one defensive lineman come off a block. I'm like, what in the actual fuck? And they're lucky that Carolina had 75 yards of penalties. If they hadn't, they would have blew them out fucking worse than it was. Jared Goff is not the problem. Jared Goff, You say what you want to say about this guy. He's not the issue. The issue is this. Dan Campbell did not have these guys ready, and that's on fucking him.
Dude, it still
it's
doesn't matter.
on him.
Goff
dude.
had all the time in the world in that game. And
What?
he wasn't
Goff-
making passes.
Respectively, Goff 25 for 42, 355
I don't
yards,
know.
3 touchdowns.
I don't know,
11
Bruce.
QBR.
He threw for 336. I mean, what does he have to do?
355.
Throw for 666 for you to fucking give him any credit? What the fuck, dude?
Only start scoring touchdowns at
I
the
think-
end of the
Oh,
game.
Christ,
I
dude.
think the
He can't score in
bigger
the red zone.
hold on, the
My
bigger
God.
issue here that jumps off the page to me is
Fumbled
the
the
leading.
ball.
Now, you let the fumbles go to the wayside. The leading rusher for the Lions yesterday was also Jared Goff, who had 3
Yes.
rushes for 15 yards. There is your
That's your offensive line.
what in the
Period.
fuck? You have the
Offensive
highest
line.
paid.
They're protecting him when he wants to throw. They can't run block for shit.
I mean,
right
Jabal
now.
Williams ran the ball 7 times for 11 yards. DeAndre Swift 4
He
for
did
12.
get banged up a little bit.
And I saw that. But here we go again.
But no, from the start of the game, they weren't even. They didn't do at all in that game.
They had no
what
phys-
they
no
did that got
physicality,
them there.
no
Correct.
fire. No physicality, no fire.
They got to.
They were not ready for this
everything.
game.
They were not.
They were not ready
They
for
were
this
completely
game.
underprepared.
And that's coaching.
Correct.
They
They
showed
thought
up
they were
just
gonna
like
go
they
in there
just like
and
they
roll 'em
showed up
over.
in New England. This
Yep.
is how they showed up in Carolina, and they got their tanks handed to them.
And realistically,
Same thing happened to Tampa.
I think Goff put the team on his back there at the end. to
If
make
it
look
wasn't
more
for if
respectable.
it
Yeah, he
wasn't for
did.
golf,
He liked that up
it would have been
tempo a little
ugly.
bit more, and he looked a little more comfortable in that he could get the ball out a lot
if
faster.
it wasn't for golf, this would have got really.
I agree. Another person we need to talk about for the Lions, though, DJ Chark, 4 receptions, 108 yards. He's been hot. He has been absolutely
He
on
is fighting
fire
for
as
his
of late.
job.
I think he's probably earned a job on this team for the next year, personally. Amon-Ra St. Brown, 7 for 76. Cleve Raymond, big
and they were
56-yard reception.
double teaming him on every.
Yeah.
They were rolling guys toward his way every play.
For the
And-
Panthers, shockingly enough, Sam Darnold threw for more than 200 yards. 15 for 22 for 250, a touchdown. QBR 122. Honest to God,
They missed the hell out of what's his name, Deshaun Golson, the safety that went out last week hurt because they had some I have Wante whatever Fonte in there in his spot, and he was fucking awful.
who was the safety that went out for the Lions now? He's on Jack's team. I can't remember. God, the good guy who didn't play this week.
Sean Elliott.
Sean
Elliott.
There it is.
They missed him so fucking bad,
They
dude.
did. They did.
My God.
Here we go.
I mean, they have no depth, none. And if a guy goes down, they're absolutely fucked.
But this is what we talked about. This is the same old bullshit. Like you're in a position where you're gonna fight for something of relevance, and you
And
go
they
into
come out and they
Carolina.
lay a fucking egg.
I mean, 45 total yards on the ground.
You know, Dan Campbell come out and said it's on him. They weren't ready, it's on him. I'll give him credit for this, and this only.
He owned it.
He owned it.
Yeah.
But you know what? At what point does that become fucking irrelevant, dude? You're the fucking head coach. These guys should be ready every week. They can't come in flat like that.
Now, the next thing I want.
Especially in a fucking playoff situation. And now they're fucked. Now, I'm going to tell you this right now. You got Chicago coming in here this week.
That's a win.
You know what? Even if
And
it
they
is
have
a
their
fucking
full-
win,
they have a
dude.
full-
Guess
their
what?
Last full practice or full pad practice of the year, he saved it for the Chicago game. Is what I heard.
And what does
You
that?
don't- You only get so
what
many
does that mean?
padded practices or something a year. It just means you're more prepared for the game coming up because you can hit your teammates.
Oh.
Oh, so he's gonna burn that this week instead of the next week.
Yeah. So that makes no goddamn sense.
That's
dude.
I mean that was a rumor.
Either
that he-
way,
the
either
rumor.
way.
that he's using it this week.
Well, if
Who
that's what
knows?
he's doing, you know what? He don't need to be the fucking coach of this team.
Okay. Either way. Besides that, realistically, we're back to square one.
We're back to square one.
Where the fucking defense just takes plays off. Like Bruce said, Hutchinson yesterday was irrelevant to the fucking game.
he wasn't. They were all irrelevant.
I mean, it was just,
Not one guy on that line came off a fucking block.
how are you?
McNeil had a good.
He did. He had a
Couple-
decent game. But
A couple of series
yeah.
that he showed up in.
Besides that, How is it that you just can't get it?
Here's my issue. Aaron Glenn,
Yeah,
and I
needs to
like
fucking
Aaron
go.
Glenn, but I'm going to
Right.
tell you
He
this,
needs to
dude.
fucking go.
This guy can't make adjustments.
No.
And I see no adjustment from the first quarter to the fucking third quarter. No adjustment defensively to stop the fucking tidal wave that was rolling over his defensive line. No adjustments whatsoever. You didn't bring anybody. And then when they tried to bring everybody, it was like Carolina had their fucking playbook in their back pocket.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because every time they brought somebody, they got burned.
So what this pretty much means now, as far as playoff implications go, realistically, everything perfectly happened for the Lions to stay in.
Yeah. The
playoff
Giants
contention.
lost. Washington lost.
Seattle lost. Green Bay did win. So now, but Detroit has Detroit currently has the tiebreaker.
No, they don't. No, they don't.
Yes, they do.
No, they don't. Because Green Bay has a fucking better division record than Detroit does.
But Detroit beat Green Bay.
It doesn't matter because they have a better division record. If fucking Green Bay wins the last
They have to
game of the
fucking
year,
play each other.
Yes,
theirs.
if Green Bay wins the last game of the
Correct.
year. Yes, but
correct.
So
They win the tiebreaker over the Lions.
right. Either way.
Just to let you know,
Either way.
they
So
need this game against the Vikings.
they desperately need. They have to
Desperate.
win out now. You gave up your one.
Yes,
now.
that's the thing. We
have to
got
win
it
out.
very, very fucking lucky.
Here now, the other elephant in the room here is okay. Philadelphia's clinched, but they haven't yet because Dallas could still. They have to win one more.
that whole fucking game was a goddamn.
We'll
joke.
get there. Minnesota's clinched, won the division. San Francisco's clinched, won the division, and Dallas has their playoff spot. So the only fucking
the Tampa clinch yet or no?
no
Who do they have to play?
Carolina.
Oh God.
So that's the other thing. So
Ugh.
now we got to talk about the Carolina game. Realistically, Carolina is still very much in it because
My God.
they are one game behind Tampa for the division, and they still play each other. So this game actually had a lot more weight on it than anybody thinks. That last night's game between Tampa and Arizona had a lot more weight on it than anybody thinks. Because if Tampa would have fucking somehow shit that one away,
And they almost did.
we'd be looking at a different team in that spot right now. Should we just talk about that debacle
Might
next?
as well talk about it right fucking now.
Alrighty.
It's over with.
What's that little fucking smile for?
What do you mean? I'm happy about it.
Oh, okay.
Happy
I
about
took
what?
them.
I know. It was bad. Sunday night football. Tampa Bay headed to the desert to play the Cardinals. This game pretty much had the weight of the world on it for Tampa Bay, and my God, did they just not give one fuck. It was an overtime win for Tampa, 19-16. And I'm going to be honest with you, Arizona and Trace McSorley, valiant effort to take a team that everybody thought would contend for a Super Bowl. Essentially, you have DeAndre Hopkins, who's a non-factor in the game for the most part.
He's been a non-factor ever since Kyler Murray's fucking been out.
Yeah. DeAndre Hopkins, 1 reception for 4 yards. He was a complete non-factor in the game.
Right.
And Trace McSorley in his first NFL start, much like Brock Purdy, different result, but gave the Buccaneers everything they had. Buccaneers defense looked uninspired again. Offensively, the only thing of promise I saw here was the fact that Fournette got more than 50 yards rushing. Brady,
He had a really good game, period.
Fournette had a good
72 yards rushing, 90 yards,
yards
receiving.
receiving.
He was a beast.
Fournette had a good game. Russell Gage, 5 for 65. Godwin, 8 for 63. Mike Evans, pretty non-factor at
How about the series with J.J. Watt? Just fucking stuffing him. Stuffing everybody they had. My God,
Okay.
he was a fucking animal yesterday. He
I'm
had 3 sacks last week. He made at least fucking 8 plays in this fucking game yesterday. He was on fire. Unstoppable.
For a guy that had to get his heart shot
For a
back.
guy whose back is barely fucking hanging on.
limb for limb.
he's not what he used to be. Either way,
No, because if he was used to be, they'd have won that game yesterday.
somebody else who I am willing to admit now at this point is not looking much like they used to be anymore is Tom Brady. He was 32 for 48, 281 yards, a touchdown, and 2 picks. QBR of 72. This early in the year, we saw a very accurate, wasn't making mistakes. He had 3 interceptions through the first 7 or 8 games. I think it was through the first 8 games. And now it's 2 picks a game.
He looks like Dak Prescott right now.
Yeah, it's
2 picks a game.
You want to know what? I think the panic's finally set in. Like, I truly, in my heart of hearts, believe
I
that.
just don't like him throwing 50 times a game.
No, and
I think
mean,
it's bullshit.
Eventually,
it's bullshit. That's not his game.
Eventually, when you are throwing the ball consistently, and honestly, God, 48's not that many for him.
It's too much. You're throwing the ball 50 times.
We've been
dude.
pushing
Your
55,
chances,
60 as of
your
late.
chances of turning the ball over
Are much higher.
Absolutely.
And here, that's where we were at again last night. And I'm going to say this. I don't know. I don't know how the powers that be in Tampa are justifying keeping Todd Bowles and the offensive coordinator, Brian Leftwich, employed still. I don't know how they're justifying.
You know what? Offensively, they're moving the ball.
No.
It's the defense that is fucking letting it go.
Listen to me. Offensively,
I still think offensively, you want to say what you want to say about them. They're at 400 yards a game, averaging.
Don't care.
400 yards a game
Don't
offensively.
Care. The play calling in crucial situations is fucking abysmal. You have what everybody in the world besides you thinks is the greatest quarterback of all time. Okay? You just ran a perfect, set you up perfectly, little shot to the tight end on second down. It's 3rd and 3. It's 3rd and 3. I get it. Fournette's having a great game.
Absolutely.
Why are you running the ball? If you went through and saw out of those 20 runs Fournette had, I guarantee you 18 of them were just draw play right up the middle. And they know that it's coming. That's why Fournette's average is 3.5 yards every game. Because their offense is the most predictable, awful, monotonous fucking bullshit. Run the ball, shot downfield. Run the ball, shot downfield. There's nothing. They don't fucking.
What do you want them to do?
You got to do something.
What do you want them to do there?
How is it you took this offense with Bruce Arians?
You can't. Well, I mean, the Bruce Arians thing is real simple, dude. We all know why he left. Let's not go there. We all know why he's not there. The problem is this. The defense to me is not that defense that won them a Super Bowl.
No, it's not. But
it's nowhere near it. They have the secondary is atrocious.
You've got to rise up
front,
above this,
which was their strength. Their front 7. You got some of the best pass rushers in the league on that team, and for some reason they can't get to a fucking quarterback.
That's coaching. Todd Bowles is supposed to be this defensive guru.
And I'm going to say this: McSorley got sacked 1 time.
That can't happen.
How many times did Tom Brady get sacked in that game?
I don't know.
0. So that means he's either dumping the ball.
Well, that's what he is. That's why your completion percentage.
Or he's fucking throwing 50 times a game.
And you've
the offensive line we already know was their weak point. We know that.
Oh, and they had another starter.
But the defense has turned into a fucking an Achilles heel for them.
Yep. Yeah,
because they show up, but they'll get a stop here or there. But other than that, they're a fucking joke. Dude.
Realistically,
they're not going to beat any good teams.
In the NFL, you hold a team to 16. You got to give props to defense. At the end of the day, I don't think the defense.
Trace McSorley.
I don't think
you held Trace McSorley to 16 points.
Yesterday was root of. I don't think that's the root of the problem. I think truly the offensive play calling is the bane of all fucking evil here. I'm sorry, but you're just not. They're not doing anything different. There's nothing. You know what they're gonna do. Go watch the.
They had almost 300 yards passing. They had 115 yards rushing.
Yeah, but
they had 78 total plays. 400 yards of fucking offense.
That's not good enough. It's not good enough.
What the problem is this. They're not fucking putting the ball in the end zone.
Correct.
That's the problem.
It's
not. I don't. They're not getting the fucking ball in the end zone.
Exactly. That's why what I said.
What are you looking at, dumbass? You're fucking staring around the fucking room like a fucking crackhead. What is wrong?
Because I just said that about Jared Goff, and you were talking
What?
about how
What? Jared Goff is throwing for 300
they're throwing for 300 yards, but as long as they don't put
not
the
turning
fucking
the
ball in the
ball
end zone,
over.
it doesn't
Okay.
matter.
He's
This is
not
what you're
turning
forgetting.
the ball over.
The Lions are at least top 10 in scoring per game.
Correct.
Yes, they are.
I'm just complaining.
Tampa Bay.
Complaining. Pissed. Okay.
Dumbass.
They can't if they get in the end zone twice per game.
They're lucky.
You're lucky. You're happy. You're happy. And then Ryan Suckup has to kick 6 field goals to win it. It's just not good. So
Jared Goff's throwing over 300 fucking yards a game and no turnovers, dude. You can't ask for any more from a fucking quarterback than that.
James Conner, 15 rushes, 79 yards. It's 5.5 per carry with a touchdown. Greg Dortch, 10 receptions, 98 yards.
You know, say what you want to say about Dortch, but this guy's been pretty productive the last 5 weeks. Is it just me?
I mean, yeah, he's having. Nice
Is it just me or no?
No,
Hopkins had 1 fucking catch. Dortch had 10.
Well, McSorley obviously has practiced with some of the guys lower on the depth chart here.
Well, obviously he is.
Yeah.
He's probably the only guy he throws to in fucking
Yeah,
practice.
Exactly.
Never thrown
Trace
to Hopkins
McSorley
before.
in his first NFL start, 24 for 45, 217, 1 pick. QBR, 57. So,
Well, they'll probably win their division.
well, here's the thing.
Probably.
So now here's the implications. Tampa, obviously, this week going up against. I want to say they have a gimme game this week, I believe.
I don't think any game.
Yeah, that's
any
true.
Game with them.
There's
to be
no
honest.
such thing as a gimme game, but
Who is it?
oh no, they play Carolina this week. Great. So they
Who
play
does?
Tampa Bay plays Carolina
Bay?
at home New Year's Day, 1 p.m.
I don't see it on here. Hold on.
I'm telling you, they play Carolina
Yeah.
at home New Year's Day,
At
1 p.m.
home. And what are they? They're a 5.5 point dog.
Huh?
They're a 5.5 point dog. The Buccaneers. They're giving 5.5. Taking the Panthers all day long on that.
The line's already open.
I guess. You're not
It
serious.
just
are you?
opened.
No, they're a 5.5 point favorite. Jesus. They're a 5.5.
How are they a
favorite.
5.5 point favorite?
Because this is the thing, and this was leading me into what I was going to say.
Go ahead.
What did we see? After all this garbage, what did we see? We saw Tom Brady in overtime do just enough to get it done. And realistically, the one thing about Carolina, that's why I wanted to talk about these 2 games first. Carolina this year has played some games like they did against Tampa Bay the first time, like they did against Detroit, where they just come in and absolutely fucking butt pound you. And then
Get the serious. They go in and they think they're gonna run over them, and they get popped in the mouth.
And then the next week, they just absolutely fucking poop themselves, right? Like, or the next 2 weeks, they poop themselves. Like, for example, lost to Cleveland, lost to the Giants, absolutely poop dick New Orleans, right? Lose to Arizona, lose to San Francisco, lose to the Rams. Come in, 21-3 win against Tampa, right? This Detroit game, for example. Lose to Baltimore 13-3. Beat Denver bye week. Tough one against Seattle. Lose to fucking Pittsburgh. Come in, butt pound Detroit. It just... I think... I know you're going to fucking judge me for this, but I just think you're going to have... It's just going to be one of those weeks for Carolina. And Tampa's
It's going
played
to be
them
really
once.
fucking simple. If Tampa's defense do what they did to them the first time, they're done.
Yes,
You
I
throw
agree.
some fucking dirt on them. Because if they can't stop the run, they'll be right where the Lions were in this game.
This time it's in
Same
Tampa,
fucking
right?
way.
Correct. This game's in Tampa, but there's the
Yeah.
other thing. We've seen this kind of inconsistency out of the Carolina run game, right?
Correct.
We've
Correct.
seen them run for 300 yards one week and 30 the next. So this game has all the
You better
makings.
hope to God they lay the egg. Next
You know
week.
what the Lions did
The
against
proverbial
You know
egg.
what the Lions did against Carolina this week?
What?
They just folded.
Showed up.
No, the
didn't
Lions
show
did
up.
against Carolina. Didn't show up, folded, all the above. I think Carolina will do that this week. I just do.
Okay.
You think
well,
they're gonna
we'll see.
repeat their
See what happens.
lose, bomb,
Correct.
lose,
Yes.
fuck you up.
All right. So what other games were Saturday games?
We're going back towards Saturday now because we got those two big ones out of the way.
Yeah.
We already talked. Did we talk about Jacksonville and the Giants? No, we
Jets.
didn't because we recorded
Jacksonville and
Thursday
the
morning.
Jets.
Yeah, Jacksonville and the Jets.
Yeah.
We recorded Thursday morning. So
Correct.
going way back to Thursday Night Football, pre-Christmas, Jacksonville this game made me so fucking happy. Jacksonville headed to New York to take on the Jets. Jacksonville won this game 19-3, if you can think
And
back
actually,
that
it
far.
wasn't that close.
And it wasn't that close. And
No.
what this did for the Jaguars, and I'm going to toot my own fucking horn here because I am one of the greatest football minds of this generation, was I'm the one who said Jacksonville was going to be a playoff team. I'm the one who said this team shows all the fucking promise in the world.
They still need to win this week to
Guess what?
secure that.
No, they don't. Because if Tennessee keeps shit in the fucking bed for them, it don't matter either way.
They need this week.
And you tell me, they went in there and completely, and granted, Zach Wilson is I have a new level of garbage. There's underneath every fucking layer of the onion, all the way down to the core. At the core of the onion of shit
Okay.
is just a tier that is just Zach Wilson and Russell Wilson. The Wilsons. The core of shit is the Wilsons.
Okay.
Either way, Zach Wilson played in this game. Absolutely awful. Jets only got 3 points. Jaguars continue to roll. Evan Ingram, another nice day. 7 for 113. Travis Etienne, 22 for 83. It was just all over the place. The Jets ended up pulling Zach Wilson in the third quarter of this game to put in Chris Streveler, who ran the ball 9 times for 54 yards and got the stadium going at least. Other than that, nobody did shit for the Jets. They're awful. It's over for them.
Can I ask you?
Is it over for Robert Saleh?
No.
Is his dream is his dream season over?
Yes, this
But
season's done.
what the fuck happened to him? Because he went into the Detroit game and had a couple opportunities, called a couple timeouts to come back. Didn't do it.
Here's what
And
happened.
then
I don't care about
Here's
that.
what I want to know. If
Here's
you
what
have
happened. Since
Joe
Brees Hall went
Flacco
out,
on your bench,
when Brees Hall went out, their season was fucking over.
I
Here's
know.
the thing.
But here's the thing. No, here's the thing. Zach Wilson fucking sucks. If
We
you
know.
have Joe Flacco on your bench and
Not saying
it
anything.
worked, it wasn't
No.
perfect, but it worked. Why are you not playing him?
Okay.
That's coaching.
Here, this is it at the end of the day. The Jets' issues are as follows. One, you got a fucking awful franchise quarterback. Okay? Two, you got one other young quarterback behind him who has showed promise. And then you got Joe Flacco. Now, when you're going to take Zach Wilson out.
When Mike White was hurt, and I'm not going to sugarcoat this, when he benched fucking Zach Wilson, that was the best thing he could have done.
Correct.
When he brought him back to play in Detroit, huge mistake.
When Mike White gets hurt, you have to go back to him. You have to go back to Zach Wilson. And I'm gonna defend it all the way for Robert Saleh.
So you're going to tell me that you thought the Jets had a better chance of winning with Zach Wilson than
Anybody else?
Joe Flacco?
Do I think they had a better chance of winning?
With Joe Flacco. I actually think they had a better chance of winning with Joe Flacco at quarterback.
Yeah.
Who played very well
That
the first
might
4
be
games of
true.
the year.
That might be true.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, you can't go backwards. You
Yeah.
can't fucking
guess
go
what, dude?
backwards.
By him not going backwards, the whole fucking team went backwards.
Yeah, he
At the end of the
lost
day, this Jets season, and we said this about the Jets, we said this about Detroit, we said this about a few teams. The Jets are still a year away. There's no questioning that. That's number one. We knew this going into this season, right? Number two, the most crucial position on the field, the Jets aren't solidified at. That's the biggest difference between Jacksonville and the Jets. Both these teams are a season away from being real contenders, but Jacksonville might slip into the playoffs on accident this year because Trevor Lawrence is proving to be now a true pro. Zach Wilson is the opposite of that. If you don't have a good anchor, the ship's not going to fucking sail right. And at the end of the day, I think Robert Saleh still made the right move. You can't go backwards.
I
think you
personally
can.
would have
Because
put Joe Flacco.
You want to know
I
what
think you
happens when
can.
you do that? You end
What?
up like the fucking Colts.
Why?
You end
with
up
2
like
more
the
wins?
Colts.
Yeah, with a couple more wins.
What do you mean?
Well, I mean, I still think, if you remember, they started out really hot. The
Right.
Jets started out hot from fucking week 1 to 4. They were really good. But
Correct.
Joe Flacco was the quarterback.
Correct.
Joe Flacco was spreading the ball around.
Correct.
And then they were like, okay, well, Zach Wilson's coming off of IR. Let's play Zach Wilson. They lost game after game after game with him.
Yeah, they did.
And
I
so
don't think
why,
you can. I think
why,
you can. Go
why
back.
are you
can.
trying to tell me that
You
I
do what
think
it
Mike
takes to
White is the
win.
best quarterback on the
You
roster?
do what
Agreed.
it takes to
Wholeheartedly.
win.
I agree. Mike White was the best quarterback in the
Correct. I still think that a overaged, fucking washed up Joe Flacco is better than
Yes.
fucking.
If you
Zach
have to
Wilson.
put your foot in your mouth and eat it in front of all of New York or the world, you fucking do it because you're making the right decision.
Dude, but you're not. You're not making the right
not.
decision for the franchise going
For the-
forward.
for the franchise going forward, what do you think they're going to do? What do you think they're going to do with Zach Wilson?
They're gonna have to deal with that.
They're going to have to deal with
It's
it.
got to be gone. But at the end of the day,
Or he's out.
okay, let's be real. And
They
let's
did it to Sam Darnold.
correct. He's
They
gonna
drafted Zach Wilson while Sam Darnold was still a.
Zach Wilson's time with the Jets organization is done. It's sealed. This game sealed it. Besides that fact, if hypothetically the Jets play Flacco and they won one extra game,
Correct.
okay? Great. Then you're fighting it off for a wild card berth to get into the playoffs to play fucking I don't know, Kansas City in the first round and get your shit packed up your ass by Kansas City the first game, because that's what would have happened.
So he doesn't care.
Realistic, no, it's not that he doesn't care. It's that you put Joe Flacco in here just like the fucking Colts did with fucking Matt Ryan. He plays good for a game or two. It all fucking falls apart. And now you have a situation where the franchise fucking quarterback that you drafted second overall got replaced by not only Mike White, who's probably undrafted out of Bug Tussle State, but then by his fucking old creepy drunk uncle Joe Flacco, and now you cannot work with this human being at all. So for the fate of the
And
franchise,
it's happened to Baker Mayfield.
correct,
It's happened to Sam Darnold.
correct,
And it's
look how
happened
it's
to Geno
panned out.
Smith.
Look how it has panned out for fucking everybody. Geno Smith, we all know this,
He
and
got lucky. He got
he's flashing the
by
pan,
fucking
baby.
Seattle.
He's flashing the fucking pan. Okay, Baker. I don't know what happened this week. It proved
How can this guy go to Carolina and be totally fucking
awful, and then do what
and
he
then
did.
come over here with
Here.
a bunch of backups?
Because it's Denver.
backup.
We'll get to that. But I get what Saleh's doing. I do. You have a great young defense. I truly believe this is one team that's a quarterback away, and I hate using that phrase, but Brees Hall comes back. You got other good running backs. You got a good offensive line. You got good receiving weapons. They need to add one more, but you got a nice base. You have a fucking
I think they have too many receivers, to be honest.
They got to get rid of some of the shit and improve it. You got a good secondary. The Jets are literally a quarterback away.
They need to work. They need to work on their offensive line.
Mike White's not the
I-
answer. Zach Wilson's not the answer. Joe Flacco's not the answer. You need to go out and do what you need to do and fire every fucking scout that scouted Sam Darnold and Zach Wilson and get a perennial quarterback in there. And you will be good for 10 years. That's it. They have every other fucking intangible they need. Jacksonville will make the playoffs. They are better than Tennessee. They're hotter than Tennessee. Everything's rolling for them right now. I mean, you took a team that was at the absolute bottom in every statistical category. They're now 11th in passing yards, 11th overall in rushing yards, completely balanced, 7th in total offense. All right. And on top of that, the defense is playing decent too. Granted, they played the Jets, but they shut it down. They shut it the fuck down. They go into Houston
And they
this
beat
week.
Dallas the week before.
Right. They go into Houston this week. Houston's hot. It'll be a good game.
Oh, yeah.
Jacksonville will probably win that. And then at the end of the year, they play Tennessee at home. And that's going to be an all the marbles game in the AFC South. And I think Jacksonville will come
Unless
out on top.
Tennessee loses again this week.
Yeah, unless Tennessee shits the bed this week, which we'll get into that. But moving on.
They have to go. They got Dallas at home.
Oh, wow. Yeah, season's over. Next up, the Buffalo Bills headed into Chicago to play the Bears.
It was a good game for about 2 quarters.
Yeah, it was a tale of two halves. The first half of this game was an absolute dumpster fire, garbage bin, fucking awful. And then the Bills decided in the second half they wanted to come out and play.
Yeah,
that was that.
At that point, Chicago was up 10-6 at the half.
Nathan Peterman got a little bit of play in this game. Realistically, here it was. I don't know what it was, that sub-zero shit that Buffalo's used to playing in. Obviously, they played okay. Josh Allen, to me, didn't have his best game. He hasn't been having his best games as of late. Either way, you want to know who really impressed me in this game?
Devin Singletary.
I knew you were going to say that, but no.
Okay.
James Cook. James Cook looked like his fucking brother this weekend in Chicago. The way he ran the ball. Singletary had a great game. I don't want to take anything away from him, but obviously Buffalo has shown time and time again.
He had 12 carries. He had 106 yards and a touchdown.
Yes. Great game.
Yep.
Buffalo's shown time and time again that they don't trust this guy to be the bell cow. Either way, I love James Cook. I love the way he ran the ball this weekend. And I think he had a great game.
His touchdown in the third quarter kind of fucking
sealed the deal.
Oh my God.
Yep.
Look
Kind of
got everything going for him.
It just rejuvenated the whole fucking team. And actually, it finished the game. His 27-yard touchdown run finished the game for them.
It did.
At that point, I don't think there was any looking back.
Other than that, Stephon Diggs, quiet day. Gabe Davis, Dawson Knox both had receiving touchdowns. Here we go. The Bills, it's a pretty easy synopsis up to this point.
254 yards rushing as a team.
Yeah. And guess what? That's always been the Bills' Achilles heel, is that they could not get anything
You want to know
going
what's
rushing.
even funnier than that? Carolina put 100 more yards up than they did.
Yeah.
That's fucking sickening.
You want to know what I liked? They won this game with Josh Allen having a piss poor performance and took the pressure off of him. He only threw the ball 26 times.
And Chicago, don't be fooled. Chicago is not a good team.
No, Chicago's absolutely fucking
They're
awful.
not a good team.
Chicago's
at this
absolutely
point,
awful.
I don't even know what to say.
Do you want to hear who the leading receivers were for Chicago? Velus Jones Jr., 2 receptions, 52 yards.
Remember him.
Byron Pringle, 2 for 34.
I know who Byron Pringle was. He's
Cole
the
Kmet.
guy for Kansas City.
Cole Kmet, 5 for 27. How do you get 5 receptions for 27 yards? It's like 2 yards per catch.
Well, I mean, obviously those were dump offs.
Yeah. Either way,
Obviously.
their
Or
offense was
screens.
impotent. Justin Fields, impotent. 15 for 23, 119 touchdown. You know, Josh Allen didn't do much better. Weather was awful, but Bills did enough to get it done.
Right.
And the
That's all they
Bills,
needed.
the Bills are rolling into the playoffs right now. Rolling in
Good
shit
for
into
them.
the playoffs. Next up, the New Orleans Saints headed to the dog pound to play Cleveland in tundra-like conditions, they called it. New Orleans picked up...
It was cold there.
Yeah, it was
cold
negative 21.
It said it was the coldest it's been in Cleveland
ever
that they've ever
Yeah.
recorded.
I
I don't actually believe that.
mean, it was...
I think there were some games back when Jim
Listen,
Brown played that I'm sure were colder than
There
that.
was a point where I went upstairs over the weekend and I looked at... I got a thermostat on the Nest thing that's outside, and it said fucking 0.
Yeah.
0. And then
Well,
I went
that's
on the phone and the wind chill was negative 28.
Yeah, it's Michigan, dude.
Okay?
Not Cleveland.
And, well, Cleveland's
Cleveland's fucking
5
5
hours
hours from here.
right next to the lake, though. You know what I mean?
That is true.
So
They
you're
get the
getting
lake
all that
protection.
bullshit. So it was fucking cold. I'm not gonna lie to you. I didn't think there was any way in hell Cleveland was gonna lose this game. This would have been the most beautiful. Could you imagine the ESPN highlight
Chris
reel they
Olave
would have
in
had
this
of
game.
Deshaun Watson in this game if he would have won this? Either way, Cleveland
Chris
shits the bed.
Olave.
No Olave. Realistically, there was no Olave. I mean, Andy Dalton fucking did just enough to get it done.
Rashid Shaheed.
Rashid
continues
Shaheed,
to-
he had more than half of their receiving yards. Kamara, good game on the ground. Did what they had to do to win the game. And at the end of the day, and I don't know if anybody think this would be the case, especially at this point in the year. New Orleans defensive front is better than Cleveland's. And I didn't think anybody would be even fathoming that at this point in the year. Nick Chubb, again, here we go. They're not the utilization, 24 for 92. That's great. I don't know what it is, but the way Nick Chubb,
when they get, it seems like when they get into the red zone,
they just go away
they go with these stupid plays.
Yeah.
I'm so happy.
It's almost
I am too.
Tampa-esque.
It's
I
Tampa.
just-
Way to go these fucking stupid plays at the goal line.
No, but I agree. I'm happy to see Deshaun Watson eliminated from playoff contention, which
Thank
the
God
Browns
for that.
now are. So it's going to be a happy New Year.
Are the Saints
and if
still in
they
contention?
If they did make
'Cause
playoffs,
they
all
won?
that credit would have went to Jacoby Brissett.
So the Saints are in it still, but a lot of shit has to happen because Carolina and Tampa both have 2-game matchups over New Orleans.
Okay.
So
And they got to play Philadelphia.
Tampa and
this week.
Carolina, well, no, actually, you know what? I think New Orleans is eliminated because Tampa and Carolina can't lose the next two.
Okay.
So I believe they are.
Okay.
Or if Carolina beats Tampa, and then they both lose, and then Tampa, they realistically, I think they still might be.
Yeah. New Orleans has Philly this week.
Yeah, so they're eliminated, even if they're not.
Okay.
New Orleans, I give them props on that game. You go into
I do
Arctic
too.
Tundra
I do
and beat up on that team.
That wasn't an easy game for them.
No. Next up, the Seattle Seahawks headed to Arrowhead to play the Kansas City Chiefs, where the Chiefs roster gave Andy Reid a cheeseburger as a Christmas present wrapped up in a Nike box.
And he loved it.
It was a real cute moment. Yeah.
He's a fat bastard. He loved that cheeseburger. You could tell.
From one fat bastard to another.
From one
Yeah,
to
you
another.
would love that cheeseburger.
Did you see Patrick Mahomes? We got you in gift.
I don't know
watch
what
that?
to talk about with this game. It wasn't as close as the score.
No.
Uh,
Kansas, you want to talk about Kansas City is realistically, they are rolling.
I will say this though. Kenneth Walker is no fucking joke.
I agree with you wholeheartedly.
He when he gets these little pitches and these little toss sweeps, this guy is a fucking monster to bring down.
I'll be honest with you. I think at this time next year, 12 months from now, we'll be talking about Kenneth Walker as a top 5 running back in this league.
Oh,
As
I
a
agree.
premier
I
top
agree
5
totally.
bell cow running back in this league, regardless of who the quarterback is in Seattle next year.
Yeah, Geno Smith just continues to regress, and I think a lot of that is due to not having Tyler Lockett.
Yeah, I mean that's
But I mean, 20 of 40 for 215, a touchdown and a pick. I mean that's not going to get it done.
the whole thing is I mean, if the Giants and Washington continue to play the way that they are, Seattle's not out of it. Seattle could still accidentally
Right.
slip into a playoff spot.
But their defense, their defense had no answer for Travis Kelce,
And you know who
and
you know who Seattle plays the next two?
I don't even know.
2 home games to end the year against the Jets and the Rams.
Yeah,
Yeah.
those are not gimmies. The way the Rams are playing right now, the Rams will punch them in the mouth.
Kansas City, here's the story of the game, outside of the cheeseburger.
Okay.
It was 24-3 going into the fourth quarter. I mean,
Okay.
they were just, it was a roll fest.
Right.
Period. Kansas City, in my opinion, with the injury to Jalen Hurts at the moment, Kansas City's the most balanced and most likely team to win it all. I mean, once Hurts gets back on the field, we can have a conversation. But right now, I don't think Kansas City's just so strong in every aspect of the game. I mean, special teams, the run game now. Pacheco inspired this run game a little bit.
Yeah.
And
They're going to need that into the playoffs.
you want to know something else? They're not getting too cute right now.
They need to stay that way.
Mahomes, 16 for 28, 224, and 2 touchdowns.
But like
It's
you
not that
said,
cute.
you got to be careful with the Chiefs because sometimes they play down to the opponent.
Correct. So
And then in the second half of that game, they kind of to get the score to where it was, they kind of let up on the end.
Yeah,
at
yeah.
the end there.
well, because
They knew they had it.
like
wrapped,
here's the
but-
situation: you have Kansas City, week 1 of the playoffs, either hosts Miami or the Chargers.
Okay.
And, Miami's in a fucking skid row right now, which we'll talk about here in a minute. But don't be shocked to see Tyreek Hill, week 1 of the playoffs, come back to Arrowhead. with a little bit of chip on his shoulder, and Kansas City think they're going to stomp this team off of fucking 6 losses in a row or whatever it's going to be.
Yep.
You never fucking know. But
Never count Tariq Hill out.
don't ever count fucking the cheetah out.
Don't count him out.
Next up, a game that made me want to absolutely fucking bang my head through the wall. Do you know what Minnesota's record?
How the fuck do the Giants even stay into this ball game?
Do you know what Minnesota's record would be if every one possession game went in the opposite favor?
No, I don't.
You want to guess?
They would have lost at least fucking 10 of their games.
They'd be 2-13.
They'd be 2-13. Wow. That's incredible.
They would have the worst record in football.
But Kirk Cousins, 34-48, 299, 3 touchdowns.
I mean, here we go. Let's talk about that for a little bit. Because I want to talk about both quarterbacks in this game, because I think there's some good things and some issues about Daniel Jones as well. Kirk Cousins is just, again, I called him white bread in the offseason. I called him vanilla pudding.
Helped him.
I talked so much shit about how boring it was, but realistically, the Minnesota Vikings right now are the thrillers to watch in the league. They're the Vikings are the most exciting team to watch because they're just good enough to win every game, but not good enough to pull away.
He's still white bread.
But he's getting it done. I mean,
Yeah.
he threw the ball 50 times, 300 yards, 3
White bread's
touchdowns,
not bad. sometimes.
and a QBR of 108. He's in again. When Kirk Cousins doesn't make mistakes, this team wins. The problem is the margin of victory for this team every week is so close.
Correct.
They cannot afford to
sooner
make
or
a
later,
mistake.
this is going to come up and bite them.
Yeah, I mean,
sooner or later.
I'll be real with you. I don't think Minnesota's a Super Bowl team. I think they win a playoff game. But, right, if a defense can force
That
them,
playoff games against the Detroit Lions.
it won't be. If any team can force Minnesota to make a mistake, much like Detroit did, if they can force that fumble, if they could get Kirk Cousins' pick, the margin of victory for them is so slim that they'll get beat. Outside of that, I think going forward, when we're talking about great receiving tight ends in this league and what I've seen the last few games, the pecking order now is going to be Kelsey, Andrews, and Hawkinson.
Oh, because he has a quarterback that's actually throwing him the ball.
He is
An
taking
offense that predicates their offense around the tight end.
him and Justin Jefferson now are very. Remember that year where it was Brady, Gronk, and Randy Moss,
Okay.
and it just worked. Everything worked for some reason.
Tariq Hill, Travis Kelce.
Correct. It just works. This duo, this receiving tandem works. TJ Hawkinson, 13 for 109 and 2 touchdowns. Justin Jefferson, 12 for 133 and a touchdown. And it looked good. And
I personally don't think Hawkinson is that, but he had a good game.
I mean, the numbers don't lie. The numbers don't fucking lie. And I'm going to be honest with you. He had the one of those touchdown catches. That was not an easy gimme right in the breadbasket.
No, he was on his
for it.
back when he caught it.
He fucking worked for it. And you know what? I think if you have more time, you get an off season with him in a competent locker room with Kirk Cousins.
I don't know.
Yeah, I got a feeling he's just going to continue
Listen to me.
play better.
I'm going to be honest with you. I was more impressed with Daniel Jones than him.
Here we go. See, you're going to fucking...
Oh, God. Why? Because I said I was more impressed with Daniel Jones doing it with a guy named Hodgkins. I mean, who the fuck is this guy? He had 8 catches, 89 yards, and a touchdown. Daniel Jones was 30 of 42 for 344. A touchdown.
Okay, hold on. Let's talk about this. The fact that the team only has 3 rostered receivers, yeah, they're all going to have
impressive
decent
to
games.
me. That's impressive to me that he's got receivers. Nobody knows who they are.
Not a single player broke 100.
Give me a break, dude.
Saquon got
Give me
pretty
a break.
close.
Saquon Barkley's a monster, dude.
Yeah.
Come on.
Daniel Jones is...
He's the one keeping them in all these games.
Who?
Saquon Barkley. He's fucking, dude, they had fucking 70 yards in penalties Daniel Jones was sacked 3 times, dude. They turned the ball over twice and still almost won this game.
Not impressed.
Still almost won this game.
I'm not impressed.
I was.
I'm not impressed.
I'm impressed with the Giants.
You're impressed with the team that their last
I'm
5 has
impressed
one
with the
tie,
Giants.
1 win?
Just because the caliber of players that they have offensively right now is not good.
You know what? You know when I'll be able to toot my horn?
When
they get finger popped by Indianapolis this week.
Okay. Think that'll happen?
I do.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's just I was impressed with Daniel Jones.
Bottom of the barrel team.
He played a
he
played a defense that has been pretty hot.
Come on, dude. Minnesota's defense is not fucking pretty hot. Their
They're
secondary is
pretty hot.
fucking awful.
They
The
were hot
Lions
this
torched them. They were not hot.
They sacked him 3 times.
Guess what? A fucking blind squirrel could have. When Daniel Jones goes out there and throws for 300+ yards, you got a bunch of fucking flaccid penises playing in your secondary. It's awful. Daniel Jones is fucking awful. He needs to be excommunicated.
If I got to watch the New England Patriots drop another game because of a stupid fucking play,
No.
I'm just going to throw up.
Dude,
they
hey.
dropped the last 2 games on just sheer bullshit.
Just own it,
stupidity.
dude. Stop. It was 22-6 to start the 4th quarter.
Oh, you need to stop.
No,
Come on.
you need to stop.
No,
Just
you
own
need to
it,
stop.
dude.
They had this fucking game
Own
won
it,
and
dude.
lost
No,
it.
they didn't. No,
Yes,
they
they
fucking
did. The fucking fumble, they lost
2-point
it.
attempt
take
failed.
these assholes?
Nick Folk missed PAT. Again, same shit. Same shit.
Did you
No,
watch
I
this
took
game?
it.
Yes, I watched this
Did
game.
anybody watch the game?
But here you go.
Where they're going to score and the fumble.
Stop. Again,
too busy watching
what
the
is
Lions.
the root of all of this?
Ass kick.
Fumbles, missed PATs, awful play calls on 2-point attempt.
Well, that play call was just awful on that play.
Here we go. Guess what it is? Guess when all
Dun,
those
dun,
fucking
dun.
mistakes come?
I
It's a team that's not disciplined. It's a team that's not focused due to the fact that the coaching staff doesn't have anything under control.
The only thing they have left is Belichick's black magic. and-
Guess what? He ain't got it anymore.
No, he has the black magic. He just doesn't have.
Guess
his,
this is
skill
what this
in
is
the-
what it looks
This
like. to me.
Marcus Jones guy is really interesting.
Yes, he is. He's very interesting.
I mean, this guy, he's playing on offense.
Defense,
He
special
reminds me-
teams, everything.
Who else did New England used to play on offense and defense as a receiver in a corner? What was his name? When they won their first Super Bowl, they had a guy.
They did that with
Brown.
Darrell
Troy
Reed.
Brown.
Troy Brown played
Troy
both
Brown
sides.
was doing that. Dude.
Remember
that was
the
fucking 20 years
remember
ago.
the year they had Darrell Revis and lined him up at receiver a couple of
Yes.
times? Yeah,
Yep.
I mean,
Probably been a handful. Of
it'll happen. And you know what? This will
that
happen this
played.
year, and then you'll never hear this guy's name again because Bill
Okay.
Chick's poop. But
It's like Ben Scrown.
I'm gonna say this much: it's in New England.
And I think they were eliminated, by the way.
They were.
They were eliminated.
They were.
For playoff contention.
New England is.
So, yes, you won the bet with me because they were
Thank you.
eliminated.
Thank you.
They were eliminated.
Thank you. New England
But
is.
the last 2 weeks, they gave it up. They should have won the Raider game. They should have won this game.
Well, no,
wait,
our
why
bet
was I
was
thinking
over 9 wins,
yeah,
which they can no longer do.
no.
So I
They
can
can't.
tattoo you. But either way,
Anyway.
That's what I was thinking about. That they took
you like Braxton Berrios today. Google.
the offensive lineman.
No, he looks like a young
they
Larry
took in the
Bird.
draft. Strong. Was that his name?
Who's that fucking lineman that the Patriots took?
I said Ben Stronach on accident. But
The
it's-
Rams were going to take him, and they didn't.
The guy's actually played pretty well.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Why do you think it was
the guy that the
Caleb?
Rams were going to take. like-
Correct.
Yeah, he's like, I was going to
He's a
take him in
fucking
the
starter,
6th
dude.
round. Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah, well, yeah.
He's actually pretty good.
Okay. You agree with me that the core issue with this team is the coaching staff.
It's real simple. Matt Patricia needs to go and never come
Matt
back.
Patricia needs to go. Mac Jones needs to go. Bill Belichick needs to contemplate just being the general manager and nothing else, because
And may you know what?
it's gotten away from
Maybe
him.
maybe it's time for him to get off the sidelines.
It's gotten away from him. I'm sorry.
Because
and this year
I
is the
hate to
perfect
see it.
example.
I'm just glad
The talent level on this team in the past 2 years
It's
has
awful.
gone completely
It's
down.
fucking awful. Your boy
It-
Kendrick Bourne had a nice game though.
Listen, Kendrick Bourne's better than what people think.
Oh,
the
God.
problem is they weren't using him.
Wipe your chin
That's
off.
the problem.
Wipe your chin off.
You know, makes
Um,
me happy. The fact that we had Patricia, we ate him up. We hate him in Detroit. We gave him right back to the Patriots, and now they fucking hate him. So that makes me happy.
Joe Burrow, 40 for 52, 375, 3 touchdowns, 2 picks. The 2 picks were pretty bad. But realistically, I think right now, in my heart of hearts, as far as the AFC goes, I think there's been a little exchange of power. I think Kansas City, for me, is 1 and Cincinnati is 2. And I think Buffalo slots in below both of them.
I do too. I don't believe in Buffalo just because I don't think that they have what it takes to win a championship.
Neither do I.
I
I'm
just
willing
don't
to
think
admit
that. That's just my opinion. I'm not trying to hate on Buffalo.
Yeah, you are.
But
okay.
no, I'm not, dude.
You hate on everybody.
I don't believe
You're a hater.
they have what it takes. Kansas City has been there. They have the experience. And even Cincinnati has been there. They have the experience now.
Right.
And I think it's between those two teams.
So this is the time of year Cincinnati rolls. I mean,
Yes.
And they're rolling right now.
Yeah,
So-
they're rolling even with Joe Burrow having a bad game.
In New
And
England.
they should have lost that game. They found a way to win it.
In New England.
Yes.
In New England.
And they found a way to win it.
Next up, the Atlanta Falcons headed to Baltimore to play in the Toilet Bowl. Baltimore clinched a playoff spot with this win. And, I mean, God bless them, I guess.
What can you
but
say? Hutley threw for 115 yards.
9 for 17, 115 and a touchdown.
Wow.
Desmond Ridder, 22.
All I can say is wow.
Wow.
Demarcus Robinson had 1 catch for 6 yards and a touchdown. All I can say is wow.
I mean, yeah, Deshaun Jackson,
Wow.
1 for 10. Sammy
My
Watkins, 1
God.
for 40. Do you see this receiving core? It's like being at a retirement home. Sammy Watkins, Deshaun Jackson. Those are your
I
top
didn't know
two.
Sammy Watkins went to
Yeah.
Baltimore.
Green Bay cut him last week. Baltimore
cut
picked
him
him up off waivers.
Oh,
Yeah.
they're desperate.
They're desperate.
They're fucking desperate.
They are fucking, yeah. Understatement. Gus Edwards, nice little game, 11
I'm
99.
going to tell you what, dude. Desmond Ridder did not have a bad game.
Not awful. He's
No.
starting to feel a little bit more comfortable now, you can tell. Ridder, 22 for 33, 218.
He doesn't have anybody to throw to either.
Yeah,
I mean,
no.
Drake London had 7 catches for 96 yards.
And then it's just
That's the
absolute
highlight.
fucking
And then
ass
from
water.
there, it just goes downhill.
Yeah. Zacchaeus, 4 for 18.
Zacharias.
Yeah.
4
Tamari
catches
Bird,
for
1 for
18 yards?
Yeah.
What were they? Fucking behind the line of scrimmage screen passes? What the fuck were they?
I mean, and you want to know what? This team's completely gotten away from using Cordero Patterson, too. He had 8
yeah,
rushes for
I think
17.
they're kind of weeding him out now.
Yeah.
And Algier probably take that starting job. You know, I did notice something about him, dude. That dude is a thick dude, and he's a powerful guy.
I agree with you there. I do.
Yeah, I do. He's a powerful guy, and I won't be surprised if he's a lead guy next year.
So your Baltimore Ravens are in the playoffs. How do you feel about that?
Well, you know, I'm a Raven. I like John Harbaugh. I think he's a very good football coach. They won't go very far. Their defense is nothing that a Baltimore Ravens defense is supposed to be, even though they did try to get the acquisitions in. I think they need a full training camp. I'm talking about Roquan Smith. He's a full training camp.
Yeah.
Once he has a full training camp and has, I think, a grasp on the defense, they will become something special.
So if everything stays the way it does and Baltimore takes that first wild card spot, they would play Jacksonville. Week
I'd like
1.
to see that.
Little rematch. I
Little
would like
rematch
to see
for
game,
that. No?
Too. Yep. Next up, the Houston Texans got another win.
You know what? God bless.
I mean, Lord have mercy.
God bless Jeff Driscoll.
God bless the Houston Texans.
Fuck it. What
I
a
mean,
fucking
Malik
dumpster
Willis. Oh my fucking Lord. He's worse than Zach Wilson.
Didn't we all take
He's
the
fucking
Texans?
worse than Zach.
Yes, we
Wilson.
all
We all
took the
took the
Texans.
Texans.
We all picked the
Listen to
Texans.
me. Malik Willis.
It's worse.
I don't know how I could say this. He's worse than fucking Zach Wilson.
Malik Willis, 14 for 23 for 99 yards, 2 picks, QBR of 34.
What the
Dodged
actual
a huge
fuck?
bullet
I
there,
think,
huh?
I think you could have took somebody off the fucking street. Would have done better.
They could have thrown Bruce in there to have a better
My
game.
God.
He also ran the ball 7 times for 43 yards and a
Okay, coach.
touchdown.
What more can Derrick Henry do?
23, 126, and a touchdown for Derrick Henry. He also fumbled once.
You know what? I'm surprised he doesn't fumble more because he's the only option they have.
He's literally the only option they have.
You
It's
know.
fucking awful.
And I will say this.
Bobby Trees, 4 for 30, led the team.
Who?
Bobby Trees.
Who's Bobby Tree?
Robert Woods.
Oh, Robert Woods.
Bobby Trees,
that
back from the
area?
dead. Talk about a career that this team just took it fucking shit on. Either way, guess what? Tennessee, for their sake, better hope they don't make the playoffs. They better hope Jacksonville wins the
Malik
division.
Willis was sacked 4 times.
My God. I mean, Malik Willis
Awful.
is fucking awful, dude.
Awful.
You want to know one team that's in a worse spot than Tampa right now? The Titans. I truly believe that. They're fucking awful. They're awful. And guess their defense.
I'll say this. I
defense
think
doesn't play
Tampa's
There's
better.
a lot
than
of 7 and 8
Titans are.
teams.
Yeah, same.
You know,
Yeah.
even with Derrick Henry,
Yeah.
I think Tampa's better than fucking they are.
Well, yeah, because I mean, fucking A. Realistically, I don't know how Malik Willis was this highly touted coming in if this is the result. Because
I don't know.
he should be working behind a fucking
But
insurance salesman.
I seen the plays he was making in college, and he would make one throw, and it was like, holy shit, because he's got an arm.
Well, yeah.
But they don't give him an
It's
opportunity.
Liberty.
Huh?
It was Liberty.
Yeah. I think that's an issue.
Yeah, he's done.
Better not take quarterbacks from these small schools, man.
Carson
Trey
Wentz,
Lance.
Trey Lance,
Carson Wentz,
Willis.
blah, 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 blah.
On
awful.
the other side of the ball, Davis Mills, 17 for 28.
As shitty as
178.
Davis Mills is, he's better than Malik Willis.
So's Jeff Driscoll.
Yes.
They both played better than Malik Willis. Driscoll 4 pass attempts for 40 yards. Royce
I think
Freeman.
they're kind of working him in to take over Davis Mills' job.
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
No.
I do.
They'll just fuck it. It's cute. They're just getting a little cute. Royce Freeman, 6 for 32, led the team in rushing. And there's a name from the past. Philip Dorsett, 3 for 45, led the team in receiving.
He was a speedster out of Miami.
I mean,
I
this
honestly
game was
haven't
absolutely
heard that name in a while.
awful. This was just horrible. Either way, Houston picks up their second win.
Hey,
Good
yeah,
for them.
Yeah, good for them.
Good for
Fuck
them,
yeah.
dude.
Yeah, fuck them, yeah.
And who do they got next week?
Yeah.
And the Tennessee tailspin continues.
Who does Houston have next week?
I want to say we talked about who they played.
Fuck.
Jacksonville, I think.
Jacksonville.
Yeah.
Could be an interesting game right there.
They played Jacksonville, and then it's not going to be an interesting game.
It should be an interesting game.
They Jacksonville at home against Jacksonville, and then at Indianapolis to close out the year. So, my God, which division's worse, the AFC South or the NFC South?
I
Awful
don't know. I
fucking
think they're
football.
equally garbage.
Yeah, that's fucking horrible. Next up,
I can't believe this guy continues to win football games, but
Brock Purdy, baby.
Brock Purdy
Mr. Irrelevant.
and you know what?
Beat your man, Taylor Heineke.
I don't know how the fuck this guy continues to get bailed out on the offense is getting bailed out. They've got guys that are running in the same fucking vicinity. I just
All right.
I don't even know what to say.
Let's break this down, okay? Ray McLeod, that was a beautiful 71-yard run to score the first touchdown of this game. Then he threw 2 30-yard passes to fucking George Kittle,
Yeah.
which realistically,
George
And the
Kittle
one
was the
that
highlight of
George
this game.
Kittle,
George Kittle,
caught
yeah.
in the end zone, him and McLeod were literally next. He was closer than the defender.
yeah.
I don't know what route, who called that play or
And then-
designed that play, but
Then you had 3 Robbie Gold field goals in a row to start the fourth quarter, and then McCaffrey ran the ball 1 yard for a touchdown. This game was not as much of a blowout as the final sheet says it was. Wentz did come into this game, which worries me.
I don't know if Heineke got banged up. He did get sacked a couple of times. He was getting knocked down.
Yeah,
I mean,
don't go back, Ron Rivera.
yeah, don't
go
go in reverse.
Don't go back.
I agree with you totally on that.
Please, for the love of
What
God.
what
With
what,
that
what
one, yeah.
fucking scares me is
Absolutely.
that touchdown he had to Curtis Samuels at the end there. That scares me.
Yeah, and Ron Rivera has said that they're reevaluating the quarterback
Oh
position.
God, here you go.
So
Wentz is back.
Wentz is fucking back.
Wentz is back.
Either way,
guess what? They'll play this week, and
And get
Washington
poop
should
dick.
be eliminated after this week.
George Kittle 6 for 120 and 2 touchdowns. He was the highlight reel.
He's hot.
5 for 81.
He's hot.
Yeah.
I will say this: the best friend to a fucking young
quarterback
is
is a
good
great tight end. Yeah.
Yes.
Washington couldn't really run the ball. Heineke did not look all that great. He threw one really bad pick.
Yeah.
Wentz, I don't know.
But I will say this: Heineke was under fucking
duress
man.
the whole game.
My God.
I mean, he was still 13 for 18.
Chase
and that was
Young looked
being
pretty
under
good in
duress.
his little comeback.
his little
he made a
debut.
couple plays early.
McLaurin 4 for 77 and a touchdown. Dotson 6 for 76 and a touchdown. Curtis Samuel 5 for 52 and a touchdown. And that was pretty much
Dotson's
the story
been
of
nice
the
the
game.
last
Dotson
couple
has
weeks.
played very well.
Been playing very well.
I'm
they
sorry.
have something going there.
Washington has a bright future if they can.
I
again,
think so too.
gotta
Figure
get
out what
this
the hell
quarterback
is-
They need to
situation figured
fix their offensive line a little bit.
out. Send Heineke to quarterback camp in the offseason because I like
Yeah.
him too much. Next up, Philadelphia headed down to Dallas for a.
Divisional matchup.
There we go. And
My lord.
I'm going to say this much. God bless Gardner Minshew. This was the first time all year I rooted for Philadelphia because he just came out there.
I was
and he
so
looked-
fucking angry at this game. You have no idea. I'm going to be honest with you. I wanted to kick a hole through the TV watching the fucking Lions game, but this game absolutely pissed me off more than a Lions
Yeah,
game.
I agree.
Because they would have won this game easily if they could have fucking secured the ball
Well, yeah.
and not turned it
Lions
over.
game pissed you off from the first fucking.
This was a tale of
Snap.
turnovers.
There's a chance.
Excuse me?
The Lions game, there was no chance. Ever since the first snap of the game was over. This was a
No,
little
they
different.
had this game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And they
this,
let it
this
get
game
away
was
from them
different.
with
I was
the
agreeing
turnover.
with you.
Gardner
That's what I'm trying to
Minshew,
say.
2 picks and a fumble. Miles Sanders fumbled.
It's like, what the actual fuck?
Yeah, it was
Monty
ugly.
Smith was
Hot.
hot.
8 for 113 and 2 touchdowns
You know,
for Smith. 6 for 103
Sanders
for
even
AJ
was
Brown.
having a good game running the football, and I don't know.
And
I don't know what to say. CeeDee Lamb is on fire.
the other thing, they were able to compress Zeke Elliott and Tony Pollard. They combined for
Right.
only like 75 yards rushing. Dak Prescott,
He didn't throw 2 interceptions in this game.
No.
He only threw 1, and it was a pick six.
27 for 35, 347, 3 tuds, 1 pick for a QBR of 125. Gardner Minshew, 24 for 40, 355, 2 tuds, 2 picks, QBR of 85. CeeDee Lamb, 10 for 120 and 2 touchdowns. Tony Pollard, 6 for 61. T.Y.
Prescott was
Hilton.
sacked 6 times.
T.Y. Hilton in his Cowboys debut, 1 for 52. Nice.
And
52
that
interception.
I'll tell you what, that catch changed the game on that
Yes,
third
it did.
down. They
This
had a
game,
3rd and 30, and this fucker picks up a first down, and I think that changed the outlook of the game.
I loved the way Gardner Minshew carried himself in this game. He played very
do
well. He is a good fill-in while Jalen Hurts
Yes.
is out. But if this game proved anything to me, it's that Jalen Hurts should unanimously win the MVP. There shouldn't be one
As you
single
see,
vote
they
for
didn't
anybody else.
they didn't tweak their offense
No.
much at all. The only difference was
Trot him out there.
they
and
didn't
play it.
have Minshew running
Running.
the option.
Correct.
That's the only difference.
Yep.
But
Other
as
than that, it
far
was
as
the
their
same
plays,
game.
It was
Yeah.
the same way.
But Jalen Hurts is the MVP.
Right.
Because guess what? If he plays in this game,
He's not going to win the MVP.
if he plays in this game, they win it by 3 touchdowns. Sorry.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, I believe that.
And that's what makes an MVP.
I believe that too.
Dallas, for me,
They're cute.
I'm happy about everything right now. You want to know why? Because Dallas, for some reason, doesn't give me a lot of faith. I'm sorry. That loss to Jacksonville, this game against Philly, it doesn't. Dallas just isn't. They feel fraudulent. They feel like a
as long
first round
as Mike
exit.
McCarthy is
Yes.
still the
Feel
coach
like
of this
Dallas.
team,
Yeah.
they're a fraud.
They feel
Nothing against
fraudulent
Mike.
to me.
Listen, I get it. Mike McCarthy won a Super Bowl. I get it, but he's a fraud.
Yep.
He's
Agree.
a fraud as a coach.
Agree.
The Belichick out.
Yeah, he looks like Bill now. I think Dallas is going to be a first round exit. I'm hoping they play Tampa in the first round.
Oh, I do too.
At Tampa, Dallas versus
something
Tampa.
that
first
tells
round.
me Dallas will be ugly in that game, and that's the game that fucking they could win.
Dun, 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 dun.
I'd rather see them play them than somebody else.
Same.
So,
Next up,
I don't even know what to
in
say
the
about
Franco
this.
Harris
Sad.
fucking party night.
The ball hit the ground, by the way. That ball was trapped. I've
Why
seen
are you such
angles
a
on it.
hater? Why are you
They-
such a hater?
I'm not, dude.
He's fucking dead.
There's
You want to let it
nothing
go
wrong
now?
with R.I.P.
Thank you.
But guess what?
Franco Harris.
The ball hit the fucking ground. Raiders.
Anyways,
You take that thing
That-
and sit on that.
That
asshole.
right there.
Yeah.
this game, I mean, my God, it was ugly.
What?
We all did take the
What?
Raiders, though. I will say. I don't know
At
why I
what
go with the
point?
Steelers every time I
At what
do.
point do you hold Josh McDaniels
Derek Carr
accountable
looked awful, dude.
for what the fucking Raiders
Derek Carr
are?
looked fucking awful. Come on. It was that one falls on Derek Carr. Period. Derek Carr picked the game away. I'm sorry, he did. Derek Carr looked awful. Josh Jacobs couldn't run the fucking ball worth of shit. I mean, it was an awful game. It was awful.
What I'm trying to say here, at what point don't you hold the coaching staff that has let this team down all year long accountable?
Because that's just the way it goes with Josh McDaniels. Because
Yeah.
he does just enough when they win games to save it.
Dude, he had fucking Tim Tebow as a fucking quarterback and beat the Steelers in the fucking playoffs.
Yes, exactly.
On one play.
He does just enough to keep you wanting more.
My God.
Derek Carr, 16 for 30, 174, a touchdown, 3 picks, QBR of 42.
The offensive line was not good.
No, it was awful.
They were
Pittsburgh was
awful.
in his ass the entire game. It was nice.
They were fucking awful.
Kenny Pickett, 26 for 39, 244, 1 touchdown, 1 pick, QBR of 82. Najee, 16 for 53.
And the one touchdown was right at the end.
Yep.
50 seconds left.
I will say this: when we were making our picks, we did say that.
Did we all take the
Mitch
Raiders in this,
Trubisky
or did we take the
was the
Steelers?
starting quarterback.
Who
Yes,
took the Steelers?
that was when
we all took
no,
the
we
Steelers.
all took the Raiders
we
because
did?
Trubisky or Pickett was still
because we thought
questionable.
Trubisky
Yeah.
was playing.
Correct. Darren Waller, 4 for 58 in his return. Hunter Renfrow, 4 for 42 and a touchdown in his return. Pat Freiermuth, 7 for 66. Deontay Johnson, 5 for 65. George Pickens with the game winner, 5 for 57.
Watch out for him next year.
Guess what? This
Watch
game's
out for him
fucking
next
irrelevant
year. A full
anyways.
training camp, huh?
Las Vegas is officially eliminated from playoff contention.
Bye.
Pittsburgh is right there with them, I think.
Okay.
Close. They're close. Actually, they might be eliminated as well. Either way, either if not this week, next week. So
Yeah, Pittsburgh ain't contending shit right now.
yeah. But I'll tell you what, where they are
Three
at,
other teams better than them.
where Pittsburgh is at now versus where Pittsburgh was at a month and a half ago, completely different team.
True. As long as
As long as
Trubisky's
TJ
not-
Watt's playing, they're okay.
Yeah. That's the truth too. Say what you want to say. Without him, they were a shell.
In one that was kind of a stunner for me, the Green Bay Packers in the first game
I
on
can't fucking
Christmas
believe this. I had
Day
the Dolphins in this game.
headed down to Miami to play the Dolphins, and again, tale of two halves. Miami put up 20 by the half, and the Green Bay defense was able to shut them down completely in the second half of this game. Tua Tagovailoa, 16 completions on 25 attempts for 310 yards, a touchdown. He threw 3 interceptions. Aaron Rodgers, 24 for 38, 238, a touchdown, a pick. QBR is 78. A.J. Dillon, 11 for 36. And Aaron Jones, 6 for 25. They could not run the ball in this game, but
Surprisingly.
they did just enough to get it done. Raheem Mostert and Jeff Wilson combined for 85 yards in this game. Here we go.
You turn the ball over 4 times, you're gonna fucking lose.
Yeah, that's it.
9 out of 10 times, you're gonna fucking lose.
A Mostert fumble and 3 Tua picks, and a partridge in a fucking pear tree.
I don't even know what to say. Aaron Rodgers is gonna lose his mind before the end of this.
Yeah, he
season.
will. He'll kill someone.
With the way his receivers drop footballs
Mm-hmm.
and don't run the right routes, and this guy's gonna absolutely lose his mind on national television.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mercedes Lewis with a receiving touchdown in this game. 2 for 32, one of which was a
A name we
receiving
haven't heard
touchdown.
of in 10 years.
Alan Lazard, 5 for 61. Christian Watson, 6 for 49.
And he actually went out banged up, which is
He'll be
a
fine.
little scary. Huh?
He'll be okay. Jalen Waddle, 5 receptions, 143 yards and 1 touchdown. Tyreek Hill, 4 receptions, 103 yards, and then nobody else did anything for Miami. That was it. That's it. And here we go. Miami's kind of let's
You know what
be
I
real
noticed
about
about
it here.
Miami?
They're spiraling.
Their offense
Yeah.
is all predicated around timing. You throw the fucking timing off, and they're very beatable.
I mean,
And
yeah, they showed
I
that.
truly think they were exposed because of that. Something that the Lions were unable to do, something that other teams were unable to do. You get your hands on these receivers like the Miami DBs were. You get your hands on them and throw the
Get
timing
him on
off,
early.
and they're very beatable.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
I agree
Yeah.
with that. And they have not looked very pretty over the last couple of
No,
weeks.
Tua hasn't looked very pretty
No.
over the last 3 or 4 games.
No. All right, and our last game of the day,
Oh,
the
God.
4 p.m. slot on
What
Christmas
the
Day.
actual fuck was
This game was fucking drunk and stoned the whole time. I don't even know.
I am still absolutely and utterly I don't even know what to fucking say.
Hey, if you are the Denver Broncos,
I took the Broncos in this. I took the Broncos just on their defense to win this game, and they got their fucking asses handed to them.
if you're the Broncos, what do you do? I mean, Brett Rippon came in to finish this game.
And he was awful.
Well, yeah, but I mean,
He threw a fucking
at least
pick six.
at least you're paying, you're giving Brett Rippon fucking a $10 bill and a sack of potatoes to play quarterback, not $52 million a year to come in and look awful. Guess what? I'm sorry. That game was on Russell Wilson. You can't blame the coaches, blame the D, whatever. No.
3 out
it's
of the 4 turnovers
fucking on
was him.
Russell Wilson. It's
3 out of the
fucking
4
on
was him.
Russell Wilson. And every one of those turnovers was turned into a touchdown.
Yeah.
That's it. So it was on you. It's on you. You fucking suck. You fucking gargle penis.
What
You are
happened-
fucking awful.
What happened to the Broncos defense? They let up 400 yards of fucking offense
Dude.
to Baker Mayfield.
Because hold on. LA had the ball the whole game.
Yeah.
I mean, it was nonstop. And
Almost 37 minutes.
yeah, Baker Mayfield, great. 24 for 28 for 230 and 2 touchdowns. QBR of 125.
Defense was out there the whole game.
But Baker wasn't all that impressive. Cam Akers, 23 for 118 yards and 3 touchdowns. There you go. Tyler Higbee, nice little game. 9 for 94 and 2 touchdowns. He exists now. He got his first receiving touchdown of the year last week. Where are you?
Where's he been all year?
Right. There's fucking Matt fucking Dussy fucking Stafford for you. Anyway, either way, the Rams rolled in this. And
They scored on every possession. They did not punt.
you want to know who that's?
What are you gonna do?
If you were the Denver Broncos organization, you should be pitifully.
I mean, we all said that the Houston Texans were the worst team in football.
No, this is.
I
the
think
worst
we
team
were
in football.
wrong.
Yeah. I don't know how this team has 4
No,
wins.
the Houston Texans would.
They would dismantle
Yeah.
Denver right now. They would dismantle. Denver's
Oh,
fucking
they
awful.
would ass punch them.
Awful.
Oh, yes.
And if I was them, they go to Kansas City this week. And I hope that Kansas City doesn't play down to their level. I hope Kansas City goes in and eviscerates it. I hope the Kansas City defense takes.
I think Kansas City's still playing for home field.
They are. And I hope they take fucking Russell Wilson's soul
prisoners.
this week. I felt bad for Russell Wilson up until this point because I was like, God, the coach sucks.
the guy's drafted to a team he
He didn't want to fuck. Yeah.
traded to a team he really didn't probably want to go to.
All of it. But no, fuck you now. Now
Yeah.
I'm fuck you, Russell
He's a
Wilson.
weirdo anyway.
Yeah.
I see these little fucking videos he puts out on
That's
social
right.
media, and I'm like, what in the actual fuck is wrong with this guy? Is he eating pills? What's wrong with him? There's something wrong with him.
And for the Rams,
I don't like him. I used to like Russell Wilson. I was like, you know what? He's a pretty sharp dude. He's a fucking egotistical asshole.
Oh, wow. Here we go.
Yes. He's almost going to be in my scumbag Hall of Fame.
Wow.
He's going to make it. He continues on. He will make it.
Yeah, the Rams rolled over fucking Russell Wilson's foot. It was awful.
So we got some big matchups next week.
Whoa.
We have the 11
Why are we
and
talking
4.
about those now? We got to talk about the Monday night game tonight first. This fucking great game in Indianapolis at Lucas Oil Stadium.
Oh,
where
wow.
The Chargers are coming to town to play the fucking Colts, who fucking suck.
You know what? We're going to say that right now, and all of us, I believe, took the Chargers.
We all did.
This game.
Yep.
And watch the fucking Colts blow them out.
No.
Because that's how fucked up the NFL is. It's wishy-washy.
Guess what? You guys don't buy into that bullshit.
All right.
Don't buy into that bullshit.
Jeff Saturday
The Colts are
on Monday
fucking
night.
awful. Big Dick Nick Foles is the starting quarterback.
Uh-oh.
tonight. Big Dick
Uh-oh.
Nick. Chargers. Chargers all the way.
Okay.
Chargers still have something to play for. You know what I mean? It makes it a little bit different.
Yeah, they do have to. They do have to win. They have to win out.
Well, yeah. They if they win,
They're in. They win.
stick
They're in.
themselves in a little bit. Yeah.
And they don't want to be playing a good team that first fucking round.
No.
So they want to win as many games as possible.
But yeah, you said next week.
Next week's games, man, you have the 11 and 4 Cowboys at the fucking Titans, who are 7 and 8,
Right.
and then a spiral fucking downhill.
And Jacksonville plays Houston, and if we have a situation there where if Tennessee loses and Jacksonville wins, then they play each other. The last game of the
The
year.
last game of the season for all the marbles.
For all the marbles.
This could be good. The Cardinals, they're 4 and 11. They're going in to play the 5 and 10 Falcons in
Garbage.
Atlanta.
That's a toilet bowl.
Yeah, but this has draft shit going to it.
On New Year's Day,
The Lions are at
Bruce
home.
will have an erection the whole time at Ford Field.
Bruce will be at Ford Field, absolutely strumming his own
Fucking banjo.
noodle.
Strumming his own banjo.
That's it. As the 3 and 12 Chicago Bears come in to play the 7 and 8 Detroit Lions,
Amen.
and I don't even know what to say about that. Broncos Chiefs, huge game, like Sam said. I can't wait to see Pat Mahomes really
want him
put it to fucking this team.
I want him to eviscerate Denver.
Yes,
I want
I do
them to be
too.
ended.
I want Denver to fucking end their season with 4 wins. The Dolphins play the Patriots
Rams?
at the Patriots. If there's a week that they need to bounce back, it's here because they could get knocked out of the playoffs real quick here. They keep losing.
Well, that's what I'm
Talking
saying.
about the Dolphins.
Miami's 8 and 7, Pittsburgh's 7 and 8, Tennessee's 7 and 8.
Right. So they
this
need
is-
this win
They need to
bad.
pick one up here, and I think they will. I don't think that'll.
And you got the Colts at the Giants. Nobody cares. But the Giants are in the fucking playoff hunt. They need this game bad
Yes, they do.
because they're in it.
It's an important game for them.
Yeah.
Every
The,
game. For
the
them.
Saints go and who are still trying to get a win in their division, they got to go to Philadelphia. And
That one's
hopefully
over.
Minshew plays in that game and they don't turn the fucking ball over.
This game's the most important game of the weekend, right here.
The Panthers and Bucs. Biggest game on schedule.
Yep.
This is for all the marbles right here. Then you got the Commanders. They got the Browns coming into town. The Commanders, if they don't win this game, they're out of it.
Correct.
Jacksonville
Jacksonville.
going into Houston to play the 2-win Texans. Better hope to God that they don't come out hot. They've been hot the last 3 weeks. The Texans.
Yeah,
I don't want to see them regress and do a Lioness thing
Houston?
and go in there and get their asses
for
handed.
Jacksonville. Jacksonville's not going to
Yeah.
get their ass handed to them this week. I don't think. I don't
Well,
think.
you never know. They're a young team. They haven't played up to their competition. When they came to Detroit, they got their asses handed to them.
That's true.
Bad.
That's true.
Bad. Really bad. Hopefully, they don't do the Lioness thing. And you got the 49ers going into the Raiders. How they've won 6 games is fucking beyond me. You got the Jets going to Seattle to play the Seahawks. They're both 7 and 8 and in contention for a playoff spot.
Yeah,
The Jets need that game bad.
they do.
Seattle does too because they need to stay in it. As of right now, they're in it, but they don't want to have to face fucking the Vikings the first week of the season. Then you got the 12-3 Vikings going to Green Bay to play the 7-8 Packers, which is kind of it's not a meaningless game for the Vikings because they want home field throughout.
Well,
They're tied. They're tied with Philly now.
oh, they are, aren't they?
Yes, this is a
Well,
fucking
no, there's still a
huge
game back. There's still
Huh?
a game back from Philly.
Oh, because of the tiebreaker. Because Philly
No, Philly's
Philly
13
routed them earlier in
Philly's
the year.
13-2. Minnesota's 12-3.
But they need to stay in. They need to stay in.
They'd have to.
They
gotta
have
win the next
to
two
win to stay in with Philly.
to get that first round bye.
They have to win 2 in a row.
Yep.
They have to win this
Pray
week
Philadelphia
and next
loses
week.
2
They have
in
to
a row.
win out
Yeah.
to even contend.
The battle for LA.
Huh?
The battle for LA.
Well, the Rams and the Chargers. The Chargers need this game to stay in playoff contention. They don't want to be playing the fucking first seed in the first
Well,
round.
you want to know what? If you're the Rams, I mean, you gotta take a loss here for your city and just let the Chargers fucking get a W here.
They're not
and
going
go
to
the
do that.
playoffs.
Sean McVay is a total douchebag, and he won't allow that to happen. He's a fucking douchebag. Because if he knew this team was where it was at, why didn't he do something earlier? Why did he wait so long before he made a decision to pick a guy up? So that's just stupid.
Sunday night football divisional game.
Divisional game. What gets better than this? Pittsburgh at the 10-5. How have the Baltimore Ravens won 10 fucking
I don't
football
fucking know.
games?
That truly boggles my
without
mind.
a quarterback for the last 3 weeks.
They're awful. I'm
Yes.
sorry. Baltimore's
How?
the worst 10-5
They
team in the
they
history of
they
the league.
will be eliminated in the first round.
Yeah. Agreed.
And then,
Monday night football game.
probably the most compelling game out of all these
Game of
games.
the week.
And there's one game between the two.
Yep.
The Bills and the fucking Bengals.
In Cincy.
In Cincy, huge
Monday night
game.
football.
Didn't Cincinnati lose to Buffalo in the beginning of the year?
No,
Who did they lose
they haven't
to
played
that
each
first
other.
game?
They haven't played each other.
No, who did Cincinnati lose in that first game? To Tampa, no?
No.
Who'd they lose to?
beat Tampa.
First game of the year. They
Pittsburgh.
dropped their first
Pittsburgh.
3.
They lost to Pittsburgh and Dallas to start off the year.
Yeah.
They lost to Pittsburgh, Dallas, Baltimore, and the Browns. And then they have now won
Fuck. 11
7 in a row. 7 in a row, yeah. Yeah. And they finished the year off against Buffalo and Baltimore. So
Oh,
that game right there, that Cincinnati Buffalo game in
Right.
Cincy, big game, under the
Huge
lights,
game.
Monday Night Football. They flexed that game into Monday night because originally it was LA versus LA on Monday night.
yeah, who
they
wants to
flexed this
fucking
game
see
into
that?
that.
That's just ridiculous.
Yeah. So that's going to be a great one. I'm excited to watch that football game.
Okay.
Other than that,
That's it.
do we have anything to
Well,
add?
you're gone after today.
Well, no, I will be here. I will be here live via Zoom. So, my two beautiful co-hosts are going to take over a little bit of the reins, but I will be here.
Okay.
And I'm excited. We're going to ring in the new year.
Bring it in the right way.
Ring it in the right way. Little broadcasting update here. Do you want to do a Wednesday show?
For what?
Okay. Yeah, we agreed. Fantasy football, essentially. Some people have already
Listen,
claimed
here's
championships.
my advice to all you fantasy owners right now.
Don't listen to us.
This is the last week of the season coming up.
Hang out with your Wang.
If you're in it, don't overthink it.
There you go.
Don't overthink it.
There's
Set
our
your
bit of
fucking
fantasy.
lineup and cross your fingers, because that's what it is.
So,
At this point, you can't rely on anybody.
Maybe we should put that on a T-shirt.
What?
Don't overthink it.
Don't
Don't overthink it. Set your fucking lineup and leave it alone.
So
If you tinker, you lose.
if you tinkle, you lose.
If you tinker, you lose.
Perfect. So
Trust me.
Little scheduling update there. We will be coming to you guys on Friday.
Yep.
And then we will be coming to you guys on
Monday.
No, it'll be Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Tuesday the episode will be
Sorry.
out. So yeah, so no more Wednesday shows until the playoffs begin, and then we're gonna go get back.
Maybe
into it.
we'll do a Wednesday.
Yeah,
show.
no.
I don't know, dude. You know what?
We're
the
going
playoffs
to-
going to be on Saturdays and Sundays, so we'll probably be doing a Monday Friday gig.
No,
or
we're
what?
gonna do a Wednesday show. It's
Okay.
playoffs are 3 weeks. We're gonna take care of that. But yeah, so you guys will hear from us
All right.
on
Sounds
Friday.
fun.
Thank you so much for listening to another episode of the Tip Balls Podcast. Make sure to follow our socials, Instagram and Twitter at Tip Balls, TikTok at Tip Balls Podcast. If you are listening to us on Spotify or Apple Music, check us out on YouTube and click subscribe. Thank you guys so much for listening. We hope you had happy holidays again. Get ready to ring in the new year this weekend and enjoy the week. Thank you guys.
God bless.
God bless Jeff Driscoll.
Am I perfect?